Now, Cam, you go to Staples, and you've been trying this for a lot of years. You've been trying to find irregular sized USB sticks. You're looking
irregular size anything.
Yeah. You're looking for a lot of 3 gigabytes, and they'll say, "Sir, no, you can just like 4." And you're like, "No, I don't need that much."
Can I have a paper that's in between legal and letterhead?
Yeah, you're always asking for a 7, 10.5, which is not a size of sheet. I believe 10, 11.5 is the exclusive kind of, the size that we've all agreed on.
Yeah, enough people will ask, they'll roll it out.
You think so?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, you also used to work at that paper supply, or not paper supply, but like office supplies. Like, this is your...
This is my bread and butter.
Arguably area of expertise.
Yeah, I didn't really learn much product knowledge because I didn't think it was that important.
Short of springboarding you into the career you might have now, that was just a flash in the pan.
There was 4,000 SKUs, right? So get to know paper, get to know know your paper prices, know the different types of paper you got. If someone wants a specific pen, I'm not going to be like, listen, the new paper jets just came out, and let me tell you, the one you're using is inferior quality. You should definitely look into this. No,
yeah.
I'd just be like, you want pens? Sure.
I'm currently using a Uniball Eco. I have a series of what I would call, quote, nice pens that I haven't paid a cent for. I find nice pens laying around all the time.
I don't know who buys pens.
I haven't bought a pen or pencil in 15 years, and somehow my stock has not dropped.
Yeah. I think I have too many. I mean, we have boxes upstairs just full of pens.
I had to throw... Yeah, same thing. It was like I had a bunch of those standard Bic blue pens, that you buy in a pack of whatever. Yeah. And
someone does. We don't know.
I don't... Not me. And I had so many other pens. I was like, okay, all the Bics, they all got to go. I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, that would be a good free on Kijiji. Pens. Don't need them.
Pens. Don't need them.
Because someone's buying them. I guess the offices I work, I think people steal them from offices. I think that's the answer. It's white-collar crime.
White-collar crime. Well, I'm sure every single year, major corporations lose millions of dollars in Post-it note thefts and erasers and whiteout.
I think whiteout less common, but pretty a little bit.
Well, sorry if you're not making a mistake all the time.
Whiteboard markers.
Exactly, the erasers.
Sharpies. Yep. Welcome. Welcome to Office Supply Talk.
Kick it!
Continuing tonight on Two C's in a Pod. 96.7 on your...
Two C's in a pod, 2 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 C's just like 2 C's in a pod, because we're 2 C's in a pod, just like 2 C's in a pod, 2 C's in a pod at gmail.com. That's right, you're listening to Pen Talk. You're listening to Pen Talk here on the 2 C's in a Pod.
And we have a special guest here, folks. We have should I even call that former office supply salesman?
Wow.
Top of his class in Kitchener, Hamilton, as well as Mississauga. Cameron, how's it going tonight? Yeah,
my name is Cameron Osborne. I'm one of the hosts of your show, and we have the pen expert himself, Cam LeClaire, sitting on the other end.
That's me.
Your shirt is open. It is, the summer is winding down. We hope all you kids are having a great time back at school.
Yeah.
All the kids who do listen to this show, this show does not have a parental control lock on it. You don't have to be a certain age, although the little explicit thing is right beside it there. But who knows? We could have some kid listeners. Kid listeners, let us know who you are. 2cspot at gmail.com. How young are you?
Let us know how old you are and how young you are.
You're
but
right.
Please don't send us any pictures.
You're right. I should have phrased that. How old are you, not how young are you?
That's what you say to grandma, not to the 12-year-old kid.
Right.
12-year-old kids hate that. How young are you? I'm old.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, if you're probably, if you're still counting your age in the and 3/4.
Yeah.
Half is okay. That's half a year is an amount of time that you're allowed to measure. 3/4, no way.
I don't know. Do you still say halves? I feel like
I would say half. When you're kind of like I'm 29 and a half. No, maybe not. Maybe you're right. I'm
think
too
you
old
just
for
kind of
that.
say your age. Yeah.
Yeah, I've started kind of creeping into now just saying I'm 30. Or like I'm almost 30. But I don't like the almost suffix or the prefix.
Yeah.
Might just start, I'm 30. Because, we are only a month and a half away.
I'm going to start saying I'm 45.
Well, that's a bit of a stretch, Cam, because you're not even on the other side of...
How old do you think I could, before someone goes I think I could pull off, I'd be like, I'm 33 years old. And so I'd be like, okay.
Yeah, what's that
magic
age
number?
Max? I don't know. Fuck.
I would think maybe
I'd say you could pull off 30, definitely. 33?
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't think 33.
The thing is, I've seen some people that used to be like, really? And then you're like, yeah. And they're like, okay. No one's like, I think you're lying about
No,
this.
I think you need, you need some more wear and tear on your face, I think. Just experience, because even just, that's 6 years of summer sun that hasn't been beaming down on you, right? That's going to cause the wrinkles. That's going to cause the this, that, the other. 6 extra years of beard thickness growth.
We got someone who works for us in Florida, and they're pretty old. And
how old are they?
I thought they were 90, but they've just lived in Florida their whole life. They're 65.
Oh yeah, a Florida 60 is must be. It's the leathery skin, right?
Yeah, not particularly appealing. Ooh, you got in that cup.
Oh, what we got in this cup?
Oh, you got in that cup.
Yeah, it's those Mio squirts. God.
Ah, that was something fun.
Hell yeah! You want some fun in your water? Try a little Mio squirt.
I thought you were gonna be like, I got a triple sec with blue Tanqueray, with a little bit of bitters and then a touch of salt.
Well, I have something just as good, Cam. It's just Tito's vodka, water, and cranberry Mio.
Oh, you do have vodka.
Essentially, it's a vodka cran.
Cool.
But with Mio drink instead. Folks, we're 7 minutes in the show. We have a great show coming up. Of course, episode of MacGyver. We're kicking along. We have all the headlines and asinines. But let's get into this week's podcast with first looking at last week's podcast. Because we've got some notes.
We've got some notes. We got some notes. We got some notes.
Coming up first in the notes, Cam, you just sort of brought this to my attention, just broadly and generally regarding all the endings of Stephen King books.
Yes.
Being broadly unliked, and I was like, no way, the endings are fine. You're totally right. Reddit is going off about. I didn't know there was such a unanimous buzz about this.
Before you said that, I don't know why this came up, how we talked about this. But I'm listening right now to Stephen King's The Shining on audiobook, and I have 3 hours left in it, so no spoilers.
Oh, we're no spoiling or anything. Yeah, Reddit seems to have a problem. Reddit seems to also agree that the endings of Stephen King books are not as satisfying as the middle of them. And I'm like, huh, okay.
The middle of it, this one's great. It's heebie-jeebies all day. It was 15 hours, but I was in a car for so long, I only have 3 hours left.
Wow.
And I started on
That
Thursday.
means you were in a car for approximately 12 hours.
I was in a car for a long time.
Cam, you just got back from your camping weekend. We'll hear about that. And your next note is John 8:7. I guess a little bit further removed from John 3:16. In the New Testament, we were asking ourselves about casting stones.
those who cast the first,
all of those kinds
without
of
sin
things
should not be cast.
So pretty much
without
what's
sin cast the
happening
first
here,
stone.
right? So pretty much what's happening here is that there's a moment where Jesus and some of his buddies are attending a public stoning of a woman who is accused of committing adultery. Kind of like it's, like a little festival, like a dunk tank at your high school fun fair. A bunch of people walking around. However, during this dunk fair horror stoning, no one wanted to be the first one to throw the stone. I get reading between the lines, kind of like the firing squad. Nobody wanted to be the first one to do it, and kind of knowing who, they were the ones who wanted to die. So they asked old Jesus Christ what he had to say about it, and he responded to the folks by telling him that he that is without sin among you, let him first cast a stone at her. And all these...
So Jesus was fine with this.
Well, he was like, hey, so you want to stone a sinner, so if any of you are not a sinner, yeah, you guys throw first. All
And
these
who threw
motherfuckers
it?
are looking around each other to think themselves, shit. Not a single stone was thrown because they all had a bit of sin in them. So the whore gets away scot-free, and we all learn a very valuable lesson in the process. But yeah.
Jesus hates whores?
Pardon?
Jesus hates whores?
Yeah, Jesus hates whores. And then, but that's it. That's a little bit of Catholic wisdom for a day. Jesus loved whores, I think. Famously, Mary Magdalene, probably the most famous prostitute of all time. Also, I can't think of a more famous prostitute.
Good point.
Yeah.
Point taken.
I mean, folks, let us know at home. twoceasinapod@gmail.com. Is there a more famous prostitute than Mary Magdalene? Runner-up, I think, would be Julia Roberts' character in Pretty Woman. But that's fiction. Let's stick with reality here. We're talking the Bible, the Biblo. And that's all the notes we have. That's all the notes we actually have for the week. Yeah.
Pretty good. Okay, so I was right on something. Yeah, I just remember someone telling me about that, which is kind of disappointing because I know I'm getting to the end and I'm like, it's the same thing, right? It's that, well, everything else has been great so far, but can he tie it in a nice bow? And I don't think he can.
And you've seen the movie. Have you seen the movie The Shining?
No, I'm going to watch that next.
Ooh, because I hear they're different, and I don't know, because oh my god, excuse me, I haven't read it, so I don't know.
Yeah. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I've noticed some things because I know the general scenes from the pop culture references, the blood coming down the elevator.
Here's Johnny.
You have the twins.
You
here's
got
Johnny.
red rum.
Red rum.
Red rum. But I guess does he describe the finger wag that he does while he does it, or like that thing? Or is that maybe just a movie thing? I don't know. You'll find out.
That might be a movie thing. I'll find out. I'll do a update once I finish both, and I will give you my thoughts. That'll be a segment.
Maybe like a bit of a, what could the segment be? Cam's thoughts.
Deep dive into the King.
Okay, so this is a deep dive into the entire
no, just one
bibliography.
I might do Dr. No next because I'm really enjoying the audiobook version of it. It keeps you on your toes. Mm-hmm. But no, Dr.
Sleep. I think Dr. No is a James Bond movie.
But Dr. Sleep is similar though, right? It's on the same premise. Like,
I've heard it's supposed to be Buddy, but years later. I didn't see it, so I'm not sure. But this is like a thing I think where it's like there's like a group of people like hunting those with The Shining. So I'm not sure.
Interesting.
Or the Shinin, as it's known sometimes.
Haven't heard that one yet.
No.
He also has some very erotic parts in his literature, which I was surprised by. Yeah.
Erotic.
Just talking about seed dripping down a woman's leg.
Ooh.
Like
seed.
Just, some pretty spicy stuff.
Wow.
I was jerking off when I was driving.
Really? Yeah, when you were driving too, which is one of the are you like that has to count as distracted driving. Good thing you didn't get pulled over.
Yeah, well,
like if you're not allowed to like
I pulled something.
That's great news. Glad to hear that you're masturbating and
Healthy.
that you're driving. And I guess we have no updates on Hernia Watch 2021.
Hernia Watch doctor's office called me like, "Have you got an appointment yet?" I'm like, "No."
Yeah.
That's good. This is good. Dogs. And then I just told him, yeah, I'll drive to the doctor's office and get myself employment because this seems to not go quickly.
That's too bad.
Yep. That's a shame. Ugh, I think she's going into heat or something because she has just been crazy lately.
A dog in heat. That would be
Yeah.
exciting, right? You have to,
She's already been in heat once. It just makes her, like, she's just crazy right now.
put
Normally
little-
she's sleeping.
you put
but
little diapers on her.
We did for a little bit, but
Yeah.
now...
It's her time
Yeah,
because
but
it's
she's-
her time of the month.
Exactly. Actually, kind of like time of the year. They only get it like twice a year, so...
Okay.
Fun
Well,
facts.
geez. I guess you have to figure that out.
Not much to think about. Or not much to figure out. Just gotta deal with it.
Yeah.
Roll
Amen.
with the punches. Is
that what they said?
Who?
I don't know. Somebody.
The guys. The dog people.
The dog
Um,
people.
What was I gonna tell you about?
I don't know.
It's gone.
Just
Plowing ahead here. Yes. Oh, I sold a putter on Kijiji.
Okay.
$75.
That's great.
Yeah.
Sold
Had
on
to-
Kijiji.
Sold on Kijiji. Yeah, what did I sell this week on Kijiji? But had to get Dan to... The deal's happening tomorrow. The sit down. So the guy's in Toronto, and then I gave it to Dan to deliver to him, and he's gonna come pick it up. A little bit confusing, but that's my big sale of the week. Oh, I remember one I told you, because this one's a segment of Grind My Gears, Cam. This one grinded my gears. All right.
Now, I think we premiered this segment a little while ago, right? I think this has happened once before.
Yeah. This one is a corporate version. So we have on Friday a town hall for the whole company, right? Where they basically when's this coming out? Yeah, tomorrow.
This will be coming
Okay.
out on the 20th.
Okay, so I won't give too much details, but just because we're a public company, they just make some big announcement, and we're all like very surprised by it, right? And we're like, okay, there's a lot of questions to that. Mm-hmm. Anyway, and then they're like, they kind of just go, any questions? Okay, we're gonna play a game where everyone has to say one fun fact about themselves and say who they are, and I'm like, I don't think this is the time to do this. I lost my mind, so I'm like, are we just going to pretend everything's okay now? Like, we're just going to glance over this and be like, yeehaw, let's all say fun facts. Mm-hmm. Second grinding my gear is two separate people as their fun facts, or I think it was funny things about yourself, is two separate people said, I'm sort of funny sometimes.
That's more, that you need more than that.
That's all they
Like,
said.
hi, I'm Mike, and I'm sort of funny sometimes.
I'm sort of funny sometimes. Oh, yeah, you sound like it. You
So-
sound like a hilarious guy.
So what'd you say?
I said my fun fact is that I once cleaned toilets for a summer job.
That's not a fun fact.
Sorry, porta potties for a summer.
Yeah, regardless of the shitter you're cleaning, that's not a fun fact. Like, a fun fact would be if you're like, you know,
I used to be
I'm
a
Cameron
beekeeper.
Osborne, and my uncle played drums in the band that sings the song "Hooked on a Feeling."
but he didn't.
Yeah, but it's fun. That would be a fun fact.
Yeah, but it's not even true.
Yeah,
okay,
but
here's
that's
my
fun.
always fun facts. Here's my fun facts always. Some people confuse my testicle with a baseball.
And now that really became a problem one time. You were sitting in the outfield at a Jays game, and a home run came right for you. A couple guys kind of missed it, trying to catch it in the air, and all of you were kind of climbing on the ground to find the home run. That really became an issue for you.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, people
very
were just grabbing
complicated.
your ball.
Second fun fact: I once sung the national anthem at a Blue Jays game.
That's a fun fact.
Third fun fact:
Woo!
I was once a beekeeper.
That's pretty fun. Yeah.
That's about all I got.
That's way more fun than I'm Cam McLaren. I clean shitters.
I clean poop sometimes. And one time I found a phone in there, and oh boy, that's
And
still
guess
my
what?
phone.
It still works.
Guess what? It still smells.
Yeah. Be more fun with your facts, Cam. Even if you have to exaggerate or...
My fun fact is I'm actually Keith Richards.
You're something plausible enough that, like, no one that no one would care enough to call you on.
Here's a good one. If you
Okay.
want like a simple lie,
Fantastic.
You'd be like, my fun fact is my sister's married to Jay Onright's brother.
Boom. That's enough of a thing where
Boom.
nobody's
and no
going
one's gonna,
to.
no one's following the details
Yeah,
on that one.
exactly. No one's gonna care.
Like, you have a sister, you're like, don't ask questions you don't want the answers to.
Yeah, like, oh, I'm not gonna tell you my sister's name, creep.
Yeah, you
So you can sit there and jag off.
Yeah, while you're driving.
You sick fuck.
You sick loser. Fuck you.
Go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself.
See, and the next thing you know, you're
fucking
fired
creep.
because you just told the CEO to go fuck himself.
Oh, you have a sister? Fuck yourself.
Yeah, folks, if you're answering, you have to answer one of these fun questions, whether it be in an interview, job fair, any of that kind of thing. Your sister is married to Jay Onright's brother. You use that one.
That's a good one.
Use that one.
And
or Dan.
no one's following up on that one. I'll tell you
Nobody,
that.
literally nobody is going to follow up on that. You're safe.
Yeah. My name's Cam Leclerc, and my brother's step uncle-in-law is the founder of Calico Cut Pants. It's a real website. Look it up.
Sure. Sure. Is that sure? Calico cat pants.
Calico Cut Pants, but you gotta give.
Oh, right. That's something else. That's a bit,
I think
right?
you should leave.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was
it's
gonna
when you
say
get a little
that
pee
is
on
a
your
bit.
pants.
I was like, where do I remember that one from?
You gotta give. Let's take a step into the past. And,
Sure. Again?
Again, where we evaluate as a critical piece of art, MacGyver. In Fiverr.
MacGyver in 5. It's time for MacGyver in Fiverr. MacGyver in Fiverr. It's time for MacGyver in Fiverr. Because we only have 5 minutes to recap this week's episode of MacGyver. Great introduction. I'll take it from there. That's right, folks. Every single week, we explore another one of the adventures of Special Agent MacGyver. Still no first name, right? I think I would have caught that by now. Played by Richard Dean Anderson, which, funny side note, Jess's dad used to go into the hairdresser in the 80s and give him like MacGyver's photo, and like that was the haircut. Apparently all the young men wanted in 1986, which is where we find ourselves. We have 5 minutes to recap the entire week's episode.
Can we pause there? Because I want to make sure we're good here. The second commercial break on this one was at 40 minutes. It was super long.
No, the second commercial break was like super, or not quite that late. No.
Was there 3 commercial breaks then?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Well, let's see.
Do we pause the show and figure it out off air, or we just go right into it?
You know what? We're gonna roll with this one.
We're gonna unedited, untaped, unedited.
We're gonna roll with this one. Yeah.
Okay, Cam.
I'll see
Well,
what I
I'm
can-
kicking it
I'll
off,
see
and
what I
I
can-
went to that middle time. I did go to that middle commercial break there. So we will see where we end up. But either way, we only have 5 minutes to kick it off.
I don't have a phone on me, so yeah, I'll let you just actually. Yeah, just tell me when the timer's up. I'll
I've
make
got
this
the
happen.
timer. God, what's the episode number?
Episode 5,
Episode 5. What was it called?
the heist.
The heist. We have 5 minutes. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and we open with an airplane landing in a beautiful sunny beach airport with a man named Sims getting off, and he's scared the police are chasing him here. He's there to meet a man named Catlin to exchange $60 million in diamonds. We meet Catlin. He assures us that we're all safe, but he ends up being the one pulling the trigger, killing the fat man named Sims, who's on the run. Back in Washington, Mac is talking to a senator who hired Sims to look after these diamonds, but he took off and ran instead, and he is super embarrassed. So Mac is off to the Virgin Islands to meet the senator's hot daughter, Chris, for some more information. Chris tells us that Catlin is a warmonger known round the world, and we get a very first-hand account of that when we watch him pool fighting a bunch of guys with a kendo stick. He has won tough dude. So, of course, Mac has a plan. What's the plan going to be? He's just going to walk in there and steal the diamonds. We arrive at Catlin's casino with a plan to win a bunch of cash. We have to go down to the vault, to protect the cash or to store it, or something. So we get into the casino, and when we see a waitress spill a drink by accident on a guest, we use a paper clip and some thread to pull down a woman's dress, creating a very embarrassing distraction, which gives us enough time to steal dice from the craps table, where we take them to the washroom and we buff out the edges of the dice, so we trick them with a shoe polisher so that all of our rolls end up hitting big 7s. And boy, do we start hitting, baby! We're making some serious cash, despite the suspicious eyes of the employees. When Catlin arrives, we swap out the dice with a normal pair and dispose the trick dice into our drink. We want enough cash, so we head down to the vault, and the vault's super small. Does not seem like the diamonds are in here. We get back up to the main floor, but when we arrive, the waiter emerges with our tricked dice in a cocktail glass. So the chase is on. After some running, some gunplay, an exploding CO2 tank, we get away. The next morning, Chris wakes up feeling reinvigorated, holds Mac's hand, gives us coffee in bed, but awkwardly leaves. So we devise a new plan to get the diamonds out of the suite by Chris starting a riot. And Cam, I kick over to you.
Okay. A little bit off the cuff here, but to create the riot, we're going to set up a pandemonium going on within the casino while Mac is going to go into the hotel room where the presumable diamonds are. To set this up, he goes into the breaker room, sets apart some wires as well as a ticker so that once the timer stops, we are going to see all the lights go off, pandemonium erupt, and we are in a waiting game as such. There's likely some other stuff that I'm going to plow ahead and miss here, but we're going to get where we need to get to still. Okay, good. So after creating some that trap later on for who knows what's going to happen, we see more tricks going on in their sleeves where they have the roulette table spinning and hitting all the time right on that one. People are getting rather upset because she keeps winning and they keep losing, but we're not exactly sure how that one works. Something to do with the kicking lever to stop the dice from going. Meanwhile, while she is in the casino, Mac is at the hotel rooms where the main bad guy's room is. Now, there's a camera above where he needs to block off the camera using a contraption with a clothes hanger and a mirror so that he can get the guards to come up very quickly. And then, I don't remember why he needs to get the guards to come up quickly, but he does. And he fools them, I tell you. After that, once he breaks into the person's room, the bad person's room, he uses some ash from a ashtray from a cigar to find out that there is traps where he can't walk through. So he uses some art decorations to plug the wall, and then all the lights going through it. You kind of have to see it to understand it. And holy smokes, unbelievable trick that was, Mac. Later on, he gets in, but he realizes that it's a fake door where the safe is going to be, and he needs a special code to get in. So he releases the bird inside of the cage, or from outside of the cage, and then that makes a bunch of sounds. Security guards come up, and while the guy is up there, the bad guy, he's like, let me go check out my stuff. I might as well, I'm here. So he goes inside the room, and he finds out that to make this code go off, you just need to make 4 sounds. So once they all leave, Mac grabs 4 glasses of wine, pours 4 glasses of wine, and does that thing where he rubs his finger over top of it, and then it makes the sound that goes, ooh, and then they all open. Then he has all the diamonds. Now, at the same time, the ticker goes off, and then it's complete pandemonium, and everyone's losing it, and she's claiming that everyone's cheating at the tables, but eating ain't cheating, so we're not too worried about that. Meanwhile, Mac gets all the diamonds from inside of the vault and puts them down into the storm drain. And then it goes down, and then they have to steal a car, and they throw them in the back of the car, and then the car falls out of the plane. And woo!
That's it. That's time. No more. That was great.
I think
there was a commercial. Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, I think we cut it at 22 minutes. Like...
Just 22 minutes, no matter what, like regardless of commercial break. Okay, that's fair.
I must have missed the commercial
that's
break.
Fair.
So I watched it. I'm like, yeah, and now he's easy.
Yeah, just halfway through the episode.
Yeah, because this show I find is very like inconsistent with their commercial breaks.
Okay, that's fine. Like, hey, folks, we're learning. This is a brand new show for us too. We didn't have an opening gambit for the first time. We didn't
Yeah,
have
what's
10
up with
minutes to
that?
kill on a fun, he's escaping kind of thing. So we're learning as we go here, folks. But that was it. So tune into next week.
Man,
We got episode
how
106.
much was the budget for that last shot though, where the car goes out?
That
of the
was
plane?
huge. That was huge. Yeah. You can't talk about it anymore. So
Yeah. You'll have to watch it to see
You'll have
it,
to
but
check it out.
You
You'll
probably don't because I gave such a really good explanation.
well,
and
that's
it's
the
probably
thing. I
very
mean,
clear.
I think a lot of people really do enjoy. A lot of positive feedback about the Knight Rider segment. The nightcap. And now, of course, moving to the MacGyver and Fiverr. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Of course, we haven't done a movie review show in a while.
You want to do The Shining?
That
once I finish it?
that old theme is just sitting on the shelf, as it were. It was one of one of the 2C's better theme songs, I gotta say.
We could do The Shining, but I feel like that one's pretty. It's too good.
It's a
You know what I
good
mean?
one.
'Cause we want something bad.
Well, except for Shark Tale.
Good point. That deserved more Oscars than it got.
Honestly,
Because it only had one Oscar
Finding
in
Nemo
it.
can go fuck itself. Finding Nemo can
What's
go
that?
fuck. Finding Nemo can go fuck itself.
Yeah, fuck itself.
That's good stuff, Cam. Want to play another game?
Yeah. No, I'm done with games.
Okay,
I
Cam.
gotta get serious.
Let's play a game then, shall we? Hey, I think it's
Okay,
about
Sal.
time that we play Cam. This is a game for you to play. Of course, we're talking about a little bit of Wheel of Death.
Death.
Here's how it's going to work. We spin a wheel. We ask Cam the hot takes. Sometimes he answers them. Baby. So, of course, this week we have... We're pulling up here. We have Boom Boom Clap Sizzle.
Gotta get
When you were young, a song by the band The Killers. R.I.P.
Who's also a Christian band.
No, Mormon.
Mormon.
Yeah. R.I.P. Chainsaw. And The Collector, a character performed and acted by Benicio del Toro. Cam, are you ready to spin the wheel?
Okay.
Well, I gotta
let's
come
give
up.
that
I
a-
gotta come up with
let's give that a
names for these things sometimes.
crank
It's more tough than you think. So let's spin the wheel then, shall we? And we've landed on
you
Boom
spinning?
Boom Clap Sizzle. Cam, you're a fan of music. You're a fan of it all. New Drake albums, new Kanye West albums. You yourself have an opinion. So, Cam, what is your hottest take on something music related? Pensive. He's thinking of his answer. He doesn't want it to be a bad one.
My hottest take on something music related.
He's really digging in the. I hope that's because you're passionate about the subject matter.
If you don't like pop music, you just like being a hipster.
There you have it. Anything to back it up? The
What?
floor is yours, Cam.
I would say that if you're just bluntly like, oh, that album sucked, I don't like this, I don't like that, I don't like this because it's pop. You're just trying to be, you just like the pride in not being, you like being separate than everybody else rather than what the music is. So if you're like, Bruno Mars sucks, you're like, okay, what have you liked? It's like, I listened to his album once and it sucked. Everything he does sucks. And you're like, I think that you're just trying to be different. That's my hot take.
That's a good point. Hey, Cam, the floor is yours. You can say whatever you want about shit. Cam, you want to spin that wheel a second time here?
Yes, sir.
We're spinning, baby. We're spinning. We land on R.I.P. Chainsaw. Oh, my God. It's a real big REIP. Actually, I met the guy who was in charge of the security company at work. Actually, his company is also currently in charge of Chainsaw's security.
But it's dead. How could it be? What do you mean?
Well, I guess like whatever the company was, or I guess whatever the company was before it closed
Okay,
for
yeah.
good. Like his company was started. Anyways, R.I.P. Chainsaw, folks. If you are from the Kitchener-Waterloo area, or you've just attended, I'm sure you have been to, or at least heard of Chainsaw, one of Waterloo's student most famous establishments. Certainly one of my favorites, I gotta say, because it is every single night karaoke. Cam, what is your go-to karaoke song? You want to impress a group of people, you want to look good out there, you don't want to do something that's gonna be too difficult, to make you look bad. So Cam, what are you going with? Give me some go-tos.
I haven't done much karaoke. I don't think I've actually ever done karaoke.
You've never
But-
gone up on stage.
I've never gone up on stage, but I think if I were to choose one quickly to get the people fired up, it would probably be Cherry Pie by Warrant. I feel like that's a good one.
That's your choice.
I'll take that.
Cherry pie has a classic known. She's my cherry pie. Cherry's not a euphemism for anything. How does the verse go?
That's what the karaoke thing's for.
Oh, that's what the screen. That's what the screen is for. So you don't want to sing a song that everybody knows all the words to. You want to know. You want to sing a song that people know some of the words to.
Just the chorus. Yeah, I mean, like I could pick ones that everybody's doing, but the show's about me, right? And then just get the energy up.
It really would. It would fire you up. Any song from an '80s hair metal band is going to bring the energy.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh hell yeah! Cam, you want to spin the wheel one more time?
Let's do it.
Let's spin it. There's only two options on this wheel right now, so I guess it's 50-50. It's going to be anything, and you have landed on the Collector, a character played by the actor Benicio del Toro.
Okay.
Honestly, the hardest part is finding the names of what to name things. So Cam, you've moved into a bit of a bigger place. You're sitting in a nice kind of like basement office right now. You have a large family room, a guest room. Hell, Cam, you have space and stuff for things. So Cam, my question for you is, if you had the space and the money, what is the one thing that you would like to collect?
Bicycles.
Elaboration? Elaborate.
I wish I would want more bikes because I have a few, but I'd like one for like every different occasion. Like I'd like the bike that has not come in yet, even though I bought it on February 1st. Yeah, thanks Eastside Bicycles out of Kitchener, Ontario.
Shout out to
That's
Eastside
right.
Bicycles out of Kitchener, Ontario.
Yeah, you fucking do you even know how shipping works? It doesn't take a year. So that's one. But then like I want a downhill bike. And probably more tools too. I would just like to have a really nice tool shop.
Okay, so maybe something like bikes. You if you had bikes, I feel like you would want the space to have all the bikes stored properly, the area
Correct.
where you can repair the bikes.
Which I do now, but like I'd like to have it nicer.
You would like a nicer, larger facility
Correct.
to make it happen.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
Which
what-
I kind of do. It's just I don't know. Just I'd like to make it better with cool lights and shit. And I'd like to have one of those garages when I open it up and there's people walking down the street. They're like, "Holy shit! Is that a 2002 Team Canada gold medal poster?" And I'm like, "You damn right it is." Like, how long have you had that for? You're like, "I don't know."
I got it. I got it about 2008.
2000 what?
Yeah, well, I just love, I mean, for Joe Sakic to humbly give his number to Steve Yzerman, and then he
That was a
takes,
story of a lifetime.
honestly, one of the most memorable Canadian sports moments of all time. There you have it, though. That's how you play the wheel. You're put on the spot, and you
Maybe
got
some-
to answer them. God
Some
damn
neon
it.
lights too. Maybe like a grosh neon light.
Oh, yeah, it can only be gross. Cheers.
Grosh. Yeah, cheers. Stuff like that, you know?
Hell, man. Yeah, I know. You want to collect shit. It's okay. Everybody wants to collect shit. We don't have to be these Marie Kondo minimalists.
No. I mean, if you're in Toronto, you kind of do.
That's why I said, you have the space. The space is
Yeah.
the operative word there, and that's how you play.
I don't live in that rat hole.
That's how you play the wheel of death.
Okay. Well, let's should we plow ahead to our final game of the evening?
Oh, final game of the evening, Cam.
Yeah.
Of the evening, of the morning.
of the board, top
Up
of
the middle
board,
day,
yeah.
I mean, really, it could be any time of day people listen to this podcast.
Yeah. It is weird to think that.
It is weird.
I like to pretend that they're waiting up all night, and then they just click on our thing as soon as they see it pop up at 12:01 on Monday. They're like, "Oh my god, it's out! I can't wait."
12:01 Monday morning, this show drops. Honestly. But of course, if Cam's talking about our final segment of the day, then he must be talking about one thing and one thing only. And he has a little round of headline or asinine.
Hey, headline or asinine. Headline or asinine.
Like we've said before, much of this show revolves us looking on the internet and then creating segments out of it, and this will be no different. We're looking online for stories that could be real or could be not, and it's up to us to figure out which one is which. Cam, you kick this one off.
All right. Man pees and ejaculates from anus because of simple procedure.
Man pees and ejaculates from anus due to simple procedure. Okay. This almost sounds like an ad. Like, hey, do you want to shit, piss, and come from the same hole? It's a simple procedure. This almost sounds like it's something like, they're trying to entice us to do so. Because honestly, like, if everything's got to come out, it might as well come out all in one place. The peeing from your butt would feel weird. And the coming from your butt just wouldn't be practical. How are you supposed to? I thought the whole thing was that you were supposed to get up there, to for the seed. But it makes sense. I feel like the components are inside the body that you can just kind of flip it around and have it come out the butt. I don't know why you would want to. And like when you pee, it would feel weird. But Cam, like we talked about the other week, you may have suspect internet history, certainly when it comes for looking for the deepest part of rivers or of lakes. So I'm going to say that's a headline.
That is a headline, and this is out of a unknown patient coming out of Texas who had a procedure done with the use of a catheter, which caused something called a fistula. Now, fistula is an opening between the prostate and rectum. So this happened a few years ago, and then he went to the hospital recently complaining of testicular pain and testicular swelling in the left testicle.
Is that yours?
Do I know some? Yeah, is this my story? This is my story.
Are you a lefty or a righty?
I'm a righty.
Okay.
So he had a defect in his rectal wall, a possible urinary tract infection, and an abnormal opening, which is the fistula, which was causing basically the pipes to get mixed up. So when he was taking pees, they were coming out of his butt, and they would have semen as well as feces in it. And they actually haven't fixed it. They kind of just say like, yeah, I guess this works. Sorry, you probably won't have kids though. So a little bit of a curious case of Benjamin Button-esque, just with a little bit of pipes crossing though.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Well, it's all pipes.
I did find it funny in the article, though. They did mention that, like, he did have somewhat of a history of drug abuse. But then they're just like, he was once in the hospital because he was intoxicated
Of course,
with cocaine.
doing one of those cocaine tampons, right? You put cocaine on a tampon, shove it up your butt.
Ooh, I'm talking Fridays.
Hey, Cam, I have a headline. I got one here for you. Headline or asinine: stray dog crashes wedding and gets adopted by the bride and groom.
Oh, this sounds like such a nice story that you'd see shared by my grandma on Facebook. Yeah, I'm going to say it's one of those places like Greece or something where there just seems to be like dogs everywhere. And I'm going to say these people did a wedding outside, like they're not from there, so they're not used to having stray dogs around. And then they're like, does anyone have any objections? And then a dog runs down and I go, Ruff! And they're like, uh-oh. And then, the theme music kicks on. They're like, and it's 2 C's in a pod, 2 C's in a pod. They get in a dog, and they get in a dog where the kisses are hers and his. 2 C's in a pod. Anyway, so I imagine that's how it all happened. And then they're like, we're going to keep the dog. Yeah, super sweet story, though.
Cam, it's a
Or you just-
headline.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I hope you're not making this. That would be a weird one to make
That
up.
would be a weird mango. I did think it was a little funny story. This story out of Brazil. You're right. Where newlyweds Marilia and Matheus Pirioni were just beginning their ceremony when a stray dog wandered into the ceremony and just flat out laid on the bride's dress. Guests tried to shoo away the dog, but he didn't want to leave. And right when the bride was about to walk down the aisle, the dog came up to her and laid down right beside her. Marilia, who is an animal lover, didn't seem to mind at all. The dog stayed for the ceremony and part of the reception, even being fed a little meal from the leftover food. But to everyone's surprise, at one point in the evening, the dog just slipped away, and the couple was worried they would never see him again. But of course, that didn't stop the newlyweds from making their first big decision as husband and wife, which is to find the dog and adopt him. It took them about a week looking for the dog before they found a Facebook post alerting him to their whereabouts, alerting them to his whereabouts. And when they were reunited, they felt compelled to welcome the dog into their home and into their hearts.
Oh, so sweet.
Just before you say that, though, when it comes to the dog, didn't actually happen. He didn't specifically interrupt the wedding when it said, does anyone have any objections? But I got to say, this happened for the very first time in like 5 years of working. There was a wedding ceremony, and it was in a room where there's stained glass on the ceiling. Okay, and the sun shines through. And this priest, it was a bit of a it was a bit weird. But at one point, so he says, is anybody, blah, 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 speak now, forever hold their peace. And it just so happened that in the back of the room, some dude was like, and his wife were pointing up towards the ceiling, and I could see them clearly just looking at the stained glass. Clearly just like, ooh, look at that. Ooh, look at that. And the priest caught them from the front of the room being like, do I see a hand back there? And then all the heads turn around and they're just, oh no, I was pointing at the stained glass. And the priest said, okay, well, I need to give you 5 seconds to give your reason. Don't say anything if it was an accident. Like, this guy was like taking his job like way, way, way too seriously. But I have never seen an accidental. I've seen a groom run back down the aisle, but I've never seen an accidental
Tell me that story.
objection. I'm sure I've told that one. No, so a Jewish wedding, there's a stage and his parents are there, and then she comes down the aisle. Her parents are also on the stage. They're holding hands in the middle, kind of, with the officiant there. And then I hear him, he kind of mutters something to her, and then lets go of her hands, turns to face the audience, and says, I'm sorry, I need a minute. This is a lot to process. Exact words. And then he just walks off the stage and right back down the aisle and out of the room. And I remember, so we're all standing there like, Jesus Christ, never seen this before. And there's like a string quartet that was, they were playing the entrance music and all that shit. And they look at me and they're like, what do we do? Like, I don't know.
You're like, keep rolling.
Play something. So of course
like,
they
do you know Cherry Pie?
So they start playing All You Need Is Love by the Beatles, a classic song to sing after a groom walks back down the aisle. And like, I poke my head out of the room, and the groom is kind of on the ground, like sitting on the ground, like against the wall, kind of like head between his knees. The dad's there with like a big glass of whiskey. He eventually comes back, and the ceremony happens without a hitch, but then nobody brings it up for the rest of the night. And I just want to know how that conversation went.
Oh, I'm sure it got brought up in small conversations.
Oh, yeah, imagine that.
It wasn't like no one's going to say anything.
Like, nobody brought it up
that?
in the like, I thought the best man of the speech would have been like, hey, check out this fucking guy. Like, he walks
This fucking
away.
guy, he doesn't even want to marry
back.
this girl. He walked out on her.
Yeah. The only time I've ever seen it, though, I would love to see it again. Like a runaway bride situation. I would love.
So then he came back and he was like, sorry, guys, I just forgot my pills.
I would love
and I
maybe
had
a
to take
situation where during, the bride and groom's like speeches, at the end of the night, I would love for maybe the bride to turn to the groom and say something like, I've never loved you.
Yeah.
I've been sleeping
with your dad.
I've been sleeping with your dad for the last 6 months. Like, some real Maury shit,
Yeah. I'm afraid of spider webs, but not spiders.
I'm afraid of spider webs. The song sung by No Doubt. Look, whenever that song comes on,
don't play
I
it.
just
Please
freak
don't
out.
play it.
I just freak out.
Wow, what an irrational fear. Sorry, rational fear, 'cause I feel the same way.
Amen.
All right, headliner Asinine Camp. 3 people were shot at Pennsylvania baby shower after an argument over gifts.
Yeah, people are definitely getting shot. I'm trying to think what kind of an argument, like... Yeah, like arguing at a family get-together. Like, I've never argued at a family get-together. I remember one time my stepsister was pissing me off, and I kind of, like, clapped at her a bit. But never, like, an argument where you're like, no, you're wrong and I am right. I wonder what the argument could have been about. Like, maybe somebody bought a gift that was outside of the price range, you know, kind of like the whole family agreed. They're like, hey, $50 max. And then somebody shows up with like a $200, you know, it looks a lot better. It's much nicer. And then we're like, what the hell? We all agreed on a price. I was hoping you said baby shower. I'd be hoping, you know, they were arguing like, oh, well, I think it's going to be a boy. Well, I think it's going to be a girl. Well, you know, we shouldn't gender babies. And then these 3 people are just arguing about what, like, sex they think the baby's going to come out. The sad reality is, though, that, like, this shit happens all the time in the States because they're all a bunch of fucking low-life degenerates. Shout out to all the slobs down there in the States, though, by the way.
Love you guys.
Love you guys, but the rest of you are just fat, ugly, dumb, stupid people who gave us Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio. Now you can fuck off. This is a headline.
Correct. Yeah, we're not going to put anyone else on that list.
Correct.
Okay, so this was oddly enough, this was at a volunteer fire department where they were holding a baby shower. It's kind of an interesting place where 25 people, family, friends, were at the venue. Oh boy, sorry. Hang on! Where it doesn't have the details on what happened exactly, but started out with words and then got escalated to a physical fight, and then someone had to bring out their 9mm, fire some shots in the air, and then 3 people were injured by it: a 23-year-old man, a 19-year-old woman, and a 16-year-old boy. And that's why you don't bring guns to a baby shower.
Guys, stop bringing guns to baby showers. Leave the guns at home.
Unbelievable.
Cam, I got another headline here for you. Headliner Asinine: woman fakes her own wedding to get back at ex-boyfriend.
Ooh, I hope she got some good Instagram pictures, because I bet she did. I bet she spent so much money on it, too, to get, like, a professional photographer. And I bet she did some shit that just made it too obvious that it was fake. Like, sent him an invite or something like that, but did it on a day where it was like there was obviously not a wedding happening that day. It's like, it's at 6 a.m. on Tuesday, tomorrow. So, but RSVP. So I think she probably did some crazy shit, and that's what blew her cover. And then just hired people to sit around, which is like super. I hope it wasn't friends of hers. I hope she hired like actors, because man, imagine asking your friends like, can you sit and pretend that we're having a wedding here? It's for a prank. Anyway, yeah, I think that's what she did, and that's a headline.
Cam, this is a headline here for you. This is a story out of Frankfurt, Germany, where in an incredibly desperate attempt to make her ex-boyfriend jealous, a 24-year-old woman faked an elaborate wedding to get revenge on her ex-boyfriend. The video she posted online already has 1.8 million views. The woman's named Sarah Villard, who says 24, who hired a fake groom for the day, rented a beautiful venue, got all of her friends to act as bridesmaids, hired photographers, and even posted the photos everywhere that she knew her ex would see them. Her and her former fiance split in 2019 after they were planned to be married in 2020. And I guess, you know, your question would have to be, right? Well, did your plan work? You're to get revenge at your ex-boyfriend, and hell yeah, it worked. The former fiance responded to her, believing that she was cheating on him for the entire duration of their relationship, and didn't understand how she could commit herself to somebody new so quickly. Comments on the video itself ranged from everything from the highest "you go girl" praises to the ultimate lows of "you've unlocked a new level of petty" Congrats. Villard is apparently happy with the results. Either way, she had a fun time planning the event with her friends and says that she can now relax and focus on herself.
Yeah. Yep, I'm sure that's not a red flag for me.
Yeah. So have you ever? So you say yourself, you're dating. Have you ever been married before? No, but I did once fake a wedding.
It's a long story.
It's a long story.
I won't bore you with the details, but yeah, I got him good. All right, Cameron. Woman sues her gynecologist of 9 years after discovering she's his biological daughter.
Huh. Okay. She's his biological daughter. Okay. Sorry, I thought it was the other way around for a second there. Yeah, this sounds like a good small town thing. Like small towns, they never leave. So then the chances of that is if you were born and raised in fucking Guelph, now you live in Toronto, and then you're gynecologist. That's super rare. But this is going to be the same small town fuckville United States, like the type of area that would be a regular on the Maury Show. Because remember, sometimes these women are testing 9, 10, 11 men. Not even finding the father of their child. Imagine that. Just 11 dudes coming inside of you within of a 1 month span. That's the craziest part. Anyways, I could talk about Maury all day, but I'm going to say that this is possible. It's possible that it could happen, and I think at that point, the trauma will just set in that your dad has been inside your pussy. So you might as well just keep doing it. It's more difficult to just find somebody else. And Thanksgiving dinners will never be the same. That's Asinine.
This is a headline.
Damn it.
And this is not out of the boonies, Cam. This is out of New York City. Where, and yes, we're going to name drop, Dr. Morris Wortman of Rochester, New York. I'm sure you'll have your license revoked. Actually, probably.
I don't think so.
Oh, actually.
They didn't. It's not malpractice.
It is malpractice because what he did was he was saying, he's a fertility doctor as well, that he was getting sperm samples and putting them in ladies, but they were his sperm samples and putting them in ladies.
So he's a piece of shit all across the board.
Yeah, so he did that 35 years ago, and then everyone was like, because they didn't know that was the case, everyone's praising this doctor like, we're so happy he helped our mother conceive, like it took so long. And he's like, he's a great doctor, he's be your gynecological doctor. And now she's claiming that he's performed breast and pelvic examinations, discussed the plaintiff's safe sex drive and similar personal issues. And it's just kind of fucked up that he was it's just one of those weird, like, you're doing this to your daughter, but also why are you getting women pregnant with your own, supply?
Well, yeah,
right? Never smoke your own supply.
Did he know that it was his daughter?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's fucked.
Yeah.
I was about to say, if he, obviously, without the impregnating women with your own sperm, that's weird. But, like, if you didn't know that it was your daughter, but yeah, that's creepy. Creepy.
Yeah, that's creepy.
Watch out there, folks. Do you know who your dad is? Let us know. twoceesinapod@gmail.com. Cam, I have one final headline here for you. Are you ready for it?
Yes.
Headliner Asinine. Fashion designer called out for cultural appropriation over their $1,100 sweatpants.
Ooh, cultural appropriation questions. What a great topic, because they all seem to be a little bit of fluff. $1,100?
$1,100.
Yeah, $1,100 for sweatpants. They better be drippy as hell. I bet they're Gucci, and they probably have like an African flag on them or something like that. But it was a white lady wearing them. But it was definitely like Versace or something like that. But someone got a little bit upset because she was wearing them in the white neighborhood, and then she walked in to go get coffee, and someone's like, do you know those are cultural appropriation? And she's like, no, it's not. And then she took a photo of it, and then it blew up online, and then people on Facebook are really mad about it. So that's my guess. They're Gucci sweatpants with something to do with Africa on them. Headline.
Cam, this is a headline here for you. The story's a little bit different, though. This is a story from the brand Balenciaga.
Balenciaga.
Balenciaga. Sorry, it's not Wingardium Leviosa. They made a pair of sweatpants that are selling for $1,190, with a few Black history experts claiming the pants are crossing a line into cultural appropriation. The sweatpants feature a sewn-in band at the top of the pants, which makes it look like a pair of boxers. So when the pants naturally look like sweatpants, which have been pulled down a bit. It was first noticed by a TikTok account who posted that looking at them felt racist, but they didn't know how. It wasn't until Marquita Gamage, who is the professor in African Studies at California State University, go Sharks, saw the pants and felt disturbed, saying that it's an exploitation of Black culture with the hopes of securing major profits. While the look of the sagging pants with boxers poking out the top has been, of course, it's popularized in hip-hop, music, film, the culture, right? The style has also been used to criminalize Black Americans, which often results in the imprisonment of the group. When asked about the pants, the designer said that many of their wardrobe pieces combine different styles into a single garment. It's totally true, though. I know white people wouldn't pull down their pants to look cool if it wasn't done before them.
Well, you can't celebrate it. So, because if you celebrate it, then it's cultural appropriation. But if you don't celebrate it, then you're racist.
Just go the old-fashioned way. Get a pair of sweatpants from Old Navy. Pull them down around your ass. No one's going to care. Anyways,
'cause that's also exploitation of Black culture. You can't do that.
At least Old Navy culture. That's all the time that we have on this week's podcast here, folks. Hey, thanks for listening. Remember, you can rate, like, subscribe. The show is everywhere. We would love to hear from you. Tune in next week. Episode 7 of MacGyver's coming up this week. 6. And we are slowly chugging our way, only, a few months away from that big episode 100.
Can't wait. Let's see if we can do it live.
Amen.
All right. And, folks, never forget, speaking of Brad Pitt, the only movie he's ever cried at, How to Train Your Dragon. I'm Cam LeClaire, signing off.
Take care, folks.
Continuing tonight on Two C's in a Pod. 96.7 on your
Two C's in a pod, 2 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 C's because we're 2 C's in a pod, just like 2 C's in a pod, 2 C's in a pod at gmail.com.